not seeing anything about a release date yet. However, if they're starting to film in less than a month, we might see this film as early as next year. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Faith and thank you so much for watching. Originally, I wanted this video to be me setting up my new bookshelves. However, I thought about it some more and there's just simply not enough time. And at this point, I've already packed away all of my books, which is why the background is different today. Next week will be my June reading wrap up and it will be in my new apartment. And the week after that, so in 2 weeks, is when you guys will get the video of me setting up my new shelves. But enough about all of that. In today's video, we are going to be going over 20 book adaptations and their current production status. And while we will be talking about 20 adaptations, a lot of these have little to no updates, so this video will be pretty fast-paced. And this video will contain absolutely no spoilers, and with that being said, let's get into it. We're going to start with adaptations that are in pre-production. And in case you don't know, pre-production is just before filming. First, we have the Twisted series by Anna Huang, and this is going to be adapted into a TV show by Netflix. This adaptation was announced a little over a year ago and we haven't heard much about it. There have been a lot of casting rumors, however, Anna Huang has said many times that unless herself or Netflix announces the cast, do not trust it. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say it right now, that goes for literally every production ever. As of right now, from what I'm finding, this show has not been greenlit yet. And in case you aren't super familiar with how production works, just because a company bought the rights to adapt a book into a film or TV show does not mean it will ever be greenlit and see the light of day. And that's not me saying, oh, well, this hasn't been greenlit yet, so we're never gonna see it. Sometimes studios will buy the rights for a book and just sit on it for years before it gets greenlit. But again, for the Twisted series, I'm not finding anything about it being greenlit, which at this point isn't really a good or bad thing, it's just something worth noting. And then we have the Gods of the Game series, also by Anna Huang, and this is going to be adapted into a film trilogy by Amazon. This was only announced a couple months ago at this point, so it is pretty new public information, and because of that, we don't really have any updates. And just like with the Twisted series, I'm not finding any official or credible source saying that it has been greenlit yet. And again, that is not a bad thing at all. Some things just take longer to get greenlit than others. And I also should add, just because I'm not finding a source that says it's been greenlit, that doesn't mean that it hasn't been privately greenlit and just not publicly announced yet. And then we have the Windy City series by Liz Tom 40, and this is going to be adapted into a show by Amazon. This series was only announced about a month and a half ago at this point, and again, I cannot find a source that says it has been greenlit yet. And then we have Girl Abroad by Elle Kennedy, and this is going to be adapted into a show by A24. This one was actually announced a little over 2 years ago at this point, and we haven't really gotten any updates. From what I'm finding, this one also has not been greenlit yet. And while it has been 2 years, again, sometimes things just take longer than others because they're not as high of a priority. So just because it's been 2 years without a green light doesn't mean it will never get one. With the recent success of Off Campus, which was another adaptation from Elle Kennedy's books, they may prioritize this one more. However, that is pure speculation on my part. Again, at this point, it's been 2 years and we really have no updates. And then we have the Shatter Me series by, excuse my pronunciation, Tahera Mafi, and that is going to be adapted by Warner Brothers. And to my understanding, it is going to be adapted into a film series and not a show. This one was just announced less than 2 weeks ago, so again, we really have no updates for this one. And just like with the rest that we've talked about so far, I cannot find that this has been officially greenlit yet. And again, that doesn't mean it hasn't been privately greenlit or that it will never be greenlit. And then we have the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver, and this is going to be adapted into a show by Netflix. This one was announced back in September, and again, I cannot find if this one has been officially greenlit or not. And I promise this is the last one that has not been officially greenlit. Because now we have the Rose Hill series by Elsie Silver, and this is going to be adapted into a show by Amazon. This one was announced last June, and unlike Chestnut Springs and the rest of the adaptations that we've talked about, this one was officially greenlit about a month and a half ago. And other than it being greenlit, we don't have any other updates for this one. But it has been greenlit. And now that we're moving into shows that have been greenlit, I do have to say, just because a show is greenlit does not mean it will ever make it to production or beyond. But it is definitely a step in the right direction. And then we have the Maple Hill series by Hannah Grace, and this is being adapted into a show by Netflix. This one was also announced less than 2 weeks ago, and for the announcement, they did also say that it has been greenlit. That being said, while it didn't specify, I'm pretty sure only Icebreaker, aka season 1, has been greenlit so far. And if that is the case, that doesn't mean it won't be greenlit for a season 2 or 3. But other than that, we have no more updates for this one. And then we have Better Than Than the Movies by Lynn Painter, and this is being adapted into a film by Netflix. This was announced about a month and a half ago, and from what I'm finding, it has been greenlit. And again, other than that, there are no updates for this one. I said it for the Twisted series, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it again right now. There have been absolutely zero casting announcements for this film, and unless a cast member is announced by Lynn Painter or Netflix, it is just a rumor. A couple days ago, a video went viral of this guy reading Better Than the Movies, and everybody took that to mean he has been cast. I'm sorry to be the one to break it to you, that means literally nothing. Actors do this for clout because unfortunately these days, the higher following you have on social media, the more likely you are to get a role. Yes, he may audition, be really good, and get the part, but as of now, he has not been officially cast. But moving on from that, next we have Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinneman, and this is going to be adapted into a series by Peacock. This one was also announced less than 2 weeks ago, and it actually got a straight to series order. Essentially, this means they are skipping the pilot or the test episode, and they are calling for the full series. Basically, it was immediately greenlit. And a straight to series order is fairly uncommon, so congrats to these people. And then we have the Empyrean series by Rebecca Yarros, and this is being adapted into a show by Amazon. This one also has been greenlit, and a few months ago I did a video about everything we know about the adaptation so far, and since posting that video, there really hasn't been any updates. So if you want a full breakdown about what we know about the Fourth Wing show so far, you can go and check that out. Since posting that, really the only update that we've gotten is that Michael B. Jordan has said that the casting process has started. That being said, I don't know if he actually said that. I've seen a lot of articles say that Michael B. Jordan said that, however, none of them are super credible. And I'm also not finding any that are actually quoting Michael B. Jordan, they're just quoting other articles. So I actually don't know if he actually said that or if that is just a rumor. Either way, I talked about all the updates we have in that video, and then potentially they have started casting. And then we have It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey, and this is being adapted into a movie by BCDF Pictures. This one is actually almost done with pre-production. They're starting filming on July 13th. And for casting, Nina Dobrev is going to be Piper, and Tyler Hoechlin is going to be playing Brendan. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. And I'm not seeing anything about a release date yet. However, if they're starting to film in less than a month, we might see this film as early as next year. And the last adaptation that we're going to talk about in the pre-production phase is Boys of Tommen by Chloe Walsh, and that is being adapted into a series by Amazon. I also did a full video about this one, breaking down the announcement article that gives a lot of insight into what you should expect from the show. So if you're interested in Boys of Tommen, you should go check that out. So far, this has only been greenlit for one season, and that one season is going to cover Binding 13 and Keeping 13. And like I said earlier, just because it's only been greenlit for one season doesn't mean it won't be greenlit for season 2 or 3 and so on. And for this one, we also have the official casting for Shannon, Johnny, Joey, and Aoife. A few days ago, a picture started going around of the actress who plays Shannon and the actor who plays Johnny taking a picture with a fan. And from that photo, people started speculating that they've started filming. My guess is that they have not started filming yet. I think that they will at least announce the casting for Gibbsy and Claire before they start filming. But actually, now that I say that out loud, due to the absolutely insane amount of hate that the toxic members of this fandom sent to those cast members, I actually don't know if they will announce any more cast members before they start filming. If they haven't started filming yet, they most likely will within the next month or two. Cutting in real quick, sorry I look a mess. I filmed this video initially 2 days ago, and today they announced more casting for Boys of Tommen. And I was correct that they would announce Claire and Gibbsy's casting before they started filming. And they also announced the casting for Lizzie, Hugh, Katie, Bella, Cormac, and Ronan. And I was also correct in the fact that they should not have done that, because oh my god, I saw that announcement post about 25 minutes after they posted it, and there were already over 300 hate comments. Do you have to like the casting? Absolutely not. But you not liking the casting doesn't mean that you need to go and leave disgusting hate comments, not only on the announcement post that these people are tagged in, but on their personal Instagram profiles. And I could talk about how much of a disgusting human being you are all day, but that's not what this video is about. They are still looking for their Patrick Feely. They most likely will find him soon. And like I said, filming will probably start within the next month or two. But now let's move on to adaptations that are currently in production, aka adaptations that are currently filming. First, we have The Score by Elle Kennedy, and this is going to be season 2 of Off Campus. There is no official release date yet. However, since they've already started filming, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they're shooting for May of 2027. But again, nothing official has been released. Season 2 is actually greenlit before season 1 even premiered. However, they still haven't greenlit or ordered a season 3, That being said, I would be extremely surprised if they didn't, especially considering the success of season 1. But then we have Beach Read by Emily Henry, and this is being adapted into a film by 20th Century. Filming for this one started a couple weeks ago, so again, for this one, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a release date next year. And this one is starring Phoebe Dynevor, sorry if I said that wrong, as January. And they also controversially cast Patrick Schwartz. I cannot say his last name, but Patrick as Augustus or Gus. And those are the adaptations currently filming. I'm sure there are more, but those are the ones we're talking about in this video. So now we're going to move on to adaptations currently in post-production, meaning they have wrapped up the filming process. First, we have The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood, and it is being adapted into a movie by Amazon. It's set to release on September 23rd of this year, and we've gotten a first look, but we still have not gotten a teaser or a trailer. And sadly, I wouldn't be shocked if we don't get a trailer until August, because for Off Campus, they didn't release the trailer until around a month before it came out. But I can't wait that long for the trailer, so hopefully they release it before then. And then we have Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins, and this is getting adapted into a movie by Lionsgate. And this one's getting released on November 20th of this year. And while I literally cannot wait for it, I also just am not ready for it because the emotional devastation I felt while reading that book was insane. And for this one, we have gotten both a teaser and a trailer, and it comes out 2 months after The Love Hypothesis, so step up your game, Amazon. And then we have The Titan's Curse by Rick Riordan, and this is going to be Percy Jackson Season 3. We haven't gotten the exact release date yet, however, I am pretty sure it has been officially announced that it will release in late 2026. And we haven't gotten a trailer yet, however, the end credit scene for Season 2 was a teaser for Season 3. And then we have Dune Messiah by Frank Herbert, and this is going to be Dune 3. This is set to release on December 18th of this year, the same day as Avengers Doomsday. I'm sorry, Dune, but I will be choosing Avengers Doomsday over you. And we've also gotten the teaser trailer for this one, so again, Amazon, step up your game. And lastly, we have The Magician's Nephew by C.S. Lewis, which is going to be adapted into a film by Netflix. For those of you who don't know, The Magician's Nephew is book 1 in the Narnia series, and I believe they plan on adapting each book, but of course that does depend on how well the first one does. From what I'm finding, they very recently wrapped up filming, so of course we do not have a teaser or a trailer yet. And this is being directed by Greta Gerwig, who adapted Barbie, Little Women 2019, and Lady Bird. While I love the Narnia movies from the early 2000s, I also love Greta Gerwig, so I am excited to see what she does with it. And surprisingly, Netflix has said that this will be released in theaters on February 12th of next year, and it will be released on Netflix on April 2nd of next year. And that's surprising because Netflix has said multiple times that they will never do theatrical releases, yet here they are. But those are 20 book adaptations currently in development. Are there more than 20 book adaptations currently in development? Yes, but those are the ones that I wanted to cover. But that is all that I have for you guys today. Be sure to like and subscribe and follow my Instagram and my TikTok, which are in the description below for more bookish content. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Love you guys. Bye!